all we can up to Red Poppy Ranch, and Rhett is riding Smokey, following us up there.
So your name's Ruger for today?
Yeah.
You don't shed as much as Ruger does. Myself and Cedar have been talking about taking some pretty drastic measures in order to get living up here and get the house finished. One of these significant steps is getting everything associated with finishing the house up here, like our cabinets, I've got Rhett and Cheyenne both helping me get things unloaded and get as much as we can moved up here. We're talking about doing whatever we have to do to get things finished in a timely manner. One of the ideas that we're leaning towards is possibly using a friend's camp trailer to get living up here much sooner. We feel that as we're living up here, we'll be able to get more done in a day than by living in town. We're just ready to move on. We're ready to take whatever steps necessary to get things finished up here. We're so close, it's driving us crazy. The idea of living in a camp trailer for 4 to 6 weeks doesn't scare us that much. The kids are a little bit nervous, but they should be outside most of the summer anyway. As they say, drastic times call for drastic measures. Look what I found. Planted about 10,000 of those things around here. There's another one. There's another one. There's another one. They're all over right here. Another one. Another one. Look at that. That makes my heart happy.
Today on Red Poppy Ranch, Redneck Mechanic, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to put a grill on your Dodge truck.
What's wrong with that grill?
It's ugly.
It's ugly, right? Okay, open the hood. Step 1, open the hood. Go ahead, open the hood.
My name is Gordon Ramsay, and I'm going to teach you how to put
What are you looking at me for, bro?
a steak on a grill.
Don't break anything. Come on.
Where's the little thing?
What little thing? I don't know what you're talking about.
There's usually a button you push.
Oh, yeah, is there? Well, I don't know. You can always bend down and look.
Where's the password?
Open sesame.
Oh. Step
Okay.
1.
Step
No
1.
truck.
Open the hood. Step 2. Loosen all.
Screw that.
That one. That one. Con cuidado. No te apures, por favor. Cheyenne likes the new second-gen Dodge Cummins much more than the old Ford truck. I'm guessing it's because most of the boys in town either have a version of this truck or wish they had a version of this truck. She's asked a few times if she could help with some of the modifications. I thought we would start with the grill. That seems to be right up her alley. But I love the fact that she's willing to get her hands dirty, and she doesn't mind working alongside her dad. She's a good kid. We need to find her own vehicle pretty quick and maybe make a project build out of that one. A couple of years ago, I came back here looking for this Headstone of a little baby that really nobody around here seems to know much about it. Like I said, I haven't been back here in 2 years. Now that I got the four-wheeler going, I wanted to come back here and see if I could find it again, and just figure out how hard it's going to be to come back here, maybe use the edger and clean up the headstone a little bit. So I just drove the four-wheeler back here, and I know I'm close to it. I know this is the approximate location, but 2 years ago I came back here and found the headstone, and was able to look up the little boy's information. If I remember right, it was from the 1940s, and it seems like he was like a year or two old. But it went back to the Blackfoot Indian Reservation in Pocatello, and that's about as far as I could get. I found the kids, on the internet using the information available. I found the kids' parents and grandparents, but I really couldn't figure out how the kid died, anything, and really why he's back here. This is National Forest Service back here. It's not, we're not really anywhere near Blackfoot Reservation, although supposedly this is an area where the Blackfoot Indians used to come in summer. So it's an interesting idea. I talked to all the old timers around town that I could think of, and nobody knew much about it. So, oh, there it is right there. There it is right there. All right. Galen Gould, 1948 to 49. Again, I don't, I'm guessing that headstone hasn't been here that long, based on the concrete, based on the way it was made, but it's been here a long time, because a lot of the guys that come up here and know this area, they're familiar with this headstone. And so it's super interesting to wonder why this is here. I don't know if maybe the kid's dad liked to hunt back here. This is a prime area to come and hunt for both deer and elk. I don't know if the little boy died back here. That's really what I would love to know. But again, nobody really seems to know a whole lot of information above and beyond parents, grandparents. And again, I found most of that stuff using Ancestry and a few of the other websites. But I think one of these days I'm going to bring my wife back here and maybe bring the weed eater and come back here and kind of clean up around his headstone. But it would be cool to figure out more of the story behind this headstone. Who knows if any of the kids' family is still around, but Galen Gould, 1948 to 1949. Cedar's gone until tomorrow, so I get to stay home and watch Callie and Reed. And I've got my nephew Riley here to help me, so I thought I would try and get the lift done on my truck as well as get the bumpers on. They both basically showed up at the same time. So it's a good time to get the modifications done to my truck that I need to before the conditions demand it. I haven't had a car payment in years. Somewhere along the way, I found more joy in driving an old truck, being able to work on it and fix it up the way I want it, versus having a new truck that would require a trip to the dealership every time something went wrong. I suppose it's not for everybody. I suppose there's some CPA out there somewhere saying there's no write-off in a paid-for truck. But in my mind, I need to have a couple of different things in a truck. I need to have something that's dependable. I need to have something that can pull a load. I need to have something that's going to get me out of whatever situation I could possibly get into up here. And it might as well look good. The old Dodge Cummins that I recently picked up is clean enough that I'm going to put some effort into this thing and try and keep it nice. The road to our property is going to use and abuse just about anything that comes up here. but having something that's very well built from the get-go has got to help. This truck has that. I put a 4.5-inch Tough Country lift on it. I put Iron Cross automotive bumpers on it. I'll put a Warn winch. I'll put BFG KM3 tires on it, and it'll be ready to go. On the old rusty red Ford truck, I don't know how many times I used that winch, but just having it available and having it easily accessible caused me to use it dozens and dozens of times. It got me out of a number of sticky spots, to say the least. I picked up a couple of dirt bikes this last year for Rhett that we worked on, and just recently I got both of them running, and Rhett wanted to ride it up to the property. I had a dirt bike when I was about his age, and this is the perfect place to live with a dirt bike. We fixed up two different dirt bikes. They're both 1984 XR200s. Now that they're both running, I told him he gets to pick one of them, and we'll likely sell the other one to recoup some of the money that we spent on both of them. While he's close enough to turning 16 that he's got his eyes on the old gray truck, there's still nothing better than having a dirt bike and being able to ride it around when the weather's right. My nephew Riley is in town for a few weeks. He's jumping right in, helping out wherever he can. Even if we choose to live in a camp trailer for the next 6 weeks while we finish the house, we feel that just being up here is going to give our kids a head start on getting used to what the rest of our life is going to look like. Whether it's driving on the road, whether it's just learning the area, learning the trails, and beginning the process of learning to live with our land. I finally got a phone call from the drywall contractor, and he's still more than willing to come and work. I told him that I would continue to move forward with hanging the drywall, maybe even taping it, if he could get up here and texture it. I'm hoping that this week will be the week that I get him here. By getting him up here and letting him focus exclusively on the drywall, this will allow me to do other things. Over the last little while, I've been taking the batteries back into town, putting them on a very special charger, getting them ready to be tied into the solar system. I've looked at a number of different battery boxes, but after talking with some professionals, I've convinced myself that I can build something that will easily be just as good and cost significantly less. I need to build a sealed box that will draw air from the outside that prevents any of the off-gassing from getting into the house. This will hopefully be my project next week while the drywall contractor is doing his thing. I'm done hanging the drywall on the ceiling. I need to get back into town. I haven't seen Cedar in a couple of days, and she just got home. Got the lift and bumpers done on the truck. Turned out real good. Looks kind of funny without the wheels and tires. I got my tires. I'm just trying to find the right rims for it. I want the right, I suppose, the right look. And then I'm just the winch, and I'll probably have to wait a month or two before I put the winch on. But anyway, trying to get her set up. But 90 degrees up here today. It's a warm one. Not bad in the house, though. I can say that much. It's definitely tolerable in the house. But I'll get back up here Monday, and I got a hold of the drywall contractor, and he's still more than willing to come work, so I'm going to try and get him up here. I offered to pay him a little extra to get him up here. So we will see if we can get something worked out on Monday, get him back up here. But really, we're getting down to the nitty-gritty here with the drywall. So anyhow, what do you say, Rugi? You ready for a haircut? You ready for your summer haircut? We're about to give you a buzz cut, I think.